Hey everybody, welcome. It's been a long time since I've seen anyone here on my channel. I'm Legal Vices and you're here, and ladies and gentlemen of the jury, it's been a wild couple of weeks here. I've just been bouncing around to everybody else's channel, kind of doing the grift for my own subscribers and things, kind of networking and connecting, and haven't had much time to sit here and do my own thing. But now I'm here, and now I'm doing my own thing. I know there's other people streaming right now, particularly Andrew over at Legal Mindset is streaming, and we just have the unfortunate situation of living in exactly the same time zone and having basically exactly the same schedule. But hey, it is what it is. I need to do my own thing here too. I can't. I wasn't late, or was I? I think I started at 7:30. I think it still was on the clock. But anyway. Let me get this damn hat off. It's kind of hot in here. Oh, alrighty. Gee. So, as I said, I've been bouncing around with everybody else's channel and doing everything for the past couple of weeks, and I think it's time I have to come back here and do a little bit here. So I just wanted to drop in for a little short time and kind of review a few things that have happened over the past couple of days, a few clips from the trial, and we'll see here. My beard is for sure better. Thank you, Chris EQ. And one thing, I mean, it's sad, but it's also kind of it's a nice feeling. There's so many people that drop in now on the streams and things. It's really hard to keep up with all of the comments, and I'm really not ignoring you if I don't read your comment. We've come a long way, baby. DUI guy is dealing with a Karen in line. Oh, sweet. Can't wait to hear about that or see anything. Or see, is he videoing it? Is DUI guy videoing him dealing with a Karen? I hope so, because I want to see it, not just hear about it. Yeah, Catherine, hey. Rosalia, hey. Uncle Bubba, good morning. All righty. Well, again, here we are. We've got today and tomorrow for the trial, and that's it. That's it. We're gonna be done with this, but I'm sure when Johnny Depp wins, Amber Heard wins, whatever the hell happens, whatever the outcome of this thing is, people are going to be talking about this for a very long time. If Johnny Depp wins, it's going to be another putting women back a century. The abusers win. You know, women are being subjugated. If Amber Heard wins, it's see, we told you so. Men are bastards. It's all the violence against the whatever the outcome of this is. It's not going to be the end of the story. This is going to continue on this can be dissected for weeks, months, and perhaps years. We'll see what's going on. Oh man, I want to stream snipe DUI guy just to see what's going on. But I'm definitely going to go and pop back and check that out later during one of the breaks. But as I was saying, I just want to go back and hit a few of the highlights from the past couple of days from the trial that I've thought were amusing moments or in-depth moments. And oh, by the way, tonight my legal vice is a good glass of whiskey, it's a glass of whiskey. It's not a glass of good whiskey. It's a glass of Jack Daniels because I'm just feeling like drinking rot gut today. But my pipe I'm smoking is a really cool pipe. It's a custom alien xenomorph pipe that was carved by a master pipe carver who is I believe Turkish, living in Armenia. So yeah, this is my badass alien xenomorph pipe. So I'm a nerd, can't help it. So, where should we start? Let's start with yesterday. Yesterday's a good place to start. We'll hit kind of some of the highlights from yesterday, and then if we need to, oh hey, Carl's KTX got it right. I never thought of that. Yeah, well, I mean, yes, that's what I planned all along. JD for JD coverage. Unfortunately, I ran out of my Maker's Mark, the standard Maker's Mark. I have just like the higher end stuff. But hey, Carl, thanks for saving my ass there. That's what I meant all along. Not I'm just drinking a shitty whiskey because that's what I want to do. I meant to drink Jack Daniels for Johnny Depp Day. Brian Montrose says, what do you mean I got weird stuff for my age? What weird stuff do I have? Uncle Bubba, when do I get monetized? Well, I've got the subscribers. Now I need a total of 4,000 hours. And I've got about 1,000 now. So I'm about 25% there on the hour, which is why I'm not bouncing around to the other places today. because if I bounce around other people's channels and hang out with them for 8 hours, I don't get the hours credits. So I decided I just kind of need to come here and get my credits from all of you guys. So yeah, I just want to I want to do like about an hour, and then I'll probably jump over to Legal Mindset if he's still going. I'm still waiting to hear what weird stuff I have for my age, Uncle Bubba. Oh, come on. Aliens came out. I mean, the first Alien came out in 1978 when I was like 8 years old or 10 years old. But Godzilla came out in the 1950s, for God's sake. I'm behind the times. So let's kick this off. I thought yesterday went really well for Johnny Depp's side for the most part. If I had to choose what I thought was the worst part of Johnny Depp's day, it would have been Johnny Depp's testimony. Fatal? I don't know. I don't think so. I doubt it. We'll talk about it. But Kate Moss was my favorite witness of the day. But I mean, what are you going to do? She's Kate Moss. I know the jurors were probably. Oh, I know. Okay, let's pop back to this highlight from 2 days ago. By the way, here's one of the dogs. If you start hearing like snorting or snoring or heavy breathing, it's not me doing something unnatural. It's just my stupid 50-pound bulldogs walking around the house. That's Yoda back there. Strawberries around here somewhere. The trailer park guy, the Hicksville Trailer Palace guy. I loved his testimony. He was a funny guy. And that trailer park place is the weirdest looking place. Like I was just deep diving onto the site. It's about 200 miles southwest of Las Vegas, and I'm going to be in Vegas at the end of July. So I'm trying to get there to stay overnight there for a day, just to say I did it. And I know Law of Self-Defense, Andrew, he's going to be there before I am. The dog. He's going to snipe me on that. He's going to snipe me on the exclusive. Brian Mantra, American guy living in Korea, smoking alien pipe with Jack Daniels for later. See, the problem with smoking a cigar, you can leave it alone for 3 or 4 minutes and it's still lit. But pipes, you got about 30 seconds to a minute. And if you don't huff on it, it goes out. So let's start off with this guy. This was a great little piece of testimony from where he kind of got into it with Miss Elaine there. Let's bring up the screen and start our video fest for tonight, our video review of the day, where we add this. Boom. And oops. Now that was funny. We had a lot of fun with that night because Andrew and I had we'd been talking to the umbrella guy the day before, and we were talking about how much attention he's suddenly getting and how the first shout out was amusing for everybody. And then the no sound. Ah, crap. All right. I've gone boomer. Hang on. Ugh. All right. Well, shoot. This is what you get for doing dumb shit, huh? Looking like a boomer. Oh no, crap. All right. So anyway, maybe we won't do the videos here if I can't get my shit together. So anyway, but at least I caught it. You have to give me the credit. I caught the fact there was no audio in about 30 seconds rather than about the usual 10 minutes it takes people to do it. So while I'm figuring shit out and getting my shit together here, let's let's stop that. Yeah, welcome to the Boomer Club. Thanks, Carl. This is what I get for racing home from work to entertain y'all and get things done and not get all my shit together. So we're gonna. Aha! There's where I went wrong. Uh-huh. Got now I know where my problem was. All right, we need to go here, do this, share system audio. That would help, wouldn't it? Yes, it would. All right, I think we're in business. Give me some thumbs up if we have audio starting now. Do we have audio? Someone let me know if we have audio. We have audio to me. Waiting for the audio. No? Well, yeah, now everybody. Oh, no audio still? Ugh. Well, that blows. I should have it. In that case, I'm just going to shoot myself in the face, and we might just have to talk about it. This is my last chance here. Yeah. Uh-huh. All right, we're going to have to do this a different way. All right, the way the system is set up is if I have a huge like 34-inch curved screen monitor, and you can share the whole screen, I think, in which case you can share the audio, or you can share open tabs and share the audio. But I think if I just share a screen separately, then I can't share the audio. There's some backstage shit there for you. So I'm going to try this in reverse order. Now this, if we don't have audio, I'm just going to give up and shoot myself in the face. Well, that was good, wasn't it? I'm doing pretty well here today, aren't I? See, this is what happens when you get out of practice. Anyway, that was dude from the trailer park when he was talking about the umbrella guy, and he mentioned that it sounded. What does becoming member mean? I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm new around here. Yeah, and see, that's why I kind of tried. Yeah, I'm on training wheels. I usually have my shit together, but what happened here today was I made the fatal mistake of trying to do something different and not getting it ironed out first. But now that we've wasted 15 minutes of your life, we're going to go through here and we're going to do it a little bit more difficultly than I had planned, but we'll get it worked out eventually. Because you know how it is when you plan to do something and you think you're going to be really clever and do something new, it never quite works out. But we've got a backdoor way of doing this. So what we're going to do, we're going to skip the trailer park guy because we've wasted a little bit of time. It was just funny watching him talk about the umbrella guy and how Elaine was referring to him as the umbrella man or the umbrella guy, not that umbrella guy. It was fun. We had fun laughing at that. But let's move on to yesterday and Kate Moss. Kate Moss was supposed to be a big witness for Johnny Depp, if you recall. She was supposed to be the main witness not a witness for Amber, but the idea was, that this is great being back on my own. I got like 500,000 things I've wanted to share with everybody for the last week and a half, and they're all sort of blocking their way. They all try to force their way out of my brain at the same time. So we'll just take it one at a time. Amber Heard, if you'll recall, told a fourth or fifth version of the "What Happens on the Stairs" story. And part of Amber Heard's story was that Johnny Depp was beating the hell out of her sister and he looked like he was going to throw her sister down the stairs. So she flew in between them to save Johnny Depp, and she was saying, I didn't really care what happened. I was just thinking of Kate Moss. I mean, going back to some allegation that Johnny Depp had pushed Kate Moss down the stairs. And so 30 years later, 30 years after their relationship was broken up, they bring Kate Moss to the stand. They Brian says Amica cream. Yeah, I'm just gonna go take a bath in Amica cream. That'll solve all my problems. So, this is the kind of relationship I want. People think it's odd that I'm still friends with a lot of my ex-girlfriends and my ex-wife, but this is the kind of thing that I want, where I can call up my ex-girlfriend from 30 years ago and, hey, I'm in a pickle here. Can you help me out? Not have her go, you son of a bitch. So 30 years later, Kate Moss comes to trial on a moment's notice and gives this testimony. The whole deal of this is to show that Amber Heard is an absolute liar. There was never any Kate Moss thing that happened, and it was just fantasy in her own head. So let's see what Kate Moss had to say.
We were leaving the room, and Johnny left the room before I did, and there had been a rainstorm.
Well, who wants to kill me right now? I want to... Oh my Lord. I'm just ready to dump this whole thing, reload everything, and start again. This is pretty brutal. All right. Bingo. Let's go.
We were leaving the room, and Johnny left the room before I did, and there had been a rainstorm, and as I left the room, I slid down the stairs and I hurt my back.
How did you...
And
I apologize, Ms. Moss. Please continue.
Look at him simping for Kate. That's cool.
And I screamed because I was because I didn't know what had happened to me and I was in pain. And he came running back to help me and carried me to my room and got me medical attention.
Did Mr. Depp push?
That sounds pretty nefarious, doesn't it? So now he's going to ask, did Johnny Depp push her down the stairs?
Push you in any way down the stairs?
No.
During the course of your relationship, did he ever push you down any stairs?
No, he never pushed me, kicked me, or threw me down any stairs.
And that's a happy team over there. They all look pretty happy with themselves. The audience looks happy. They've seen Kate Moss. The judge is there. Malcolm says, come Guzzler, Flappy Fish Cotton, nothing on her. No. Yeah, I'm going to guess that Amber's not going to look quite like Kate Moss 30 years down the road. But no, so this is the kind of relationship that I want with an ex, where if some shit goes down, she's going to have my back. So, that this hurt Amber's case seriously, because that was the whole focus of her justification for attacking Johnny on the stairs, was to save her sister from being thrown down the stairs by the killer that is Johnny Depp. Now, I don't know which particular version of the story do you think makes more sense? Amber's, the friend's stories, the other stories, or Kate Moss's, who said, "Yeah, I'm walking down. There were marble stairs, I believe. It was wet. If any of you have ever walked on wet marble, it's just like ice. I've had one or two spills and cracked the back of my head on a few hard stone floors." But that's one part of the testimony that did not go Amber Heard's way. Now, Dr. Mommy was a brutal witness for Amber Heard. I mean, she was devastating. Dr. Curry, when she was on the stand the first time, sort of came across as soft and nice and gentle, and This time they just took the leash off. They just took her leash off and she savaged Amber Heard. She savaged her. Let's listen to this first little clip here from Dr. Mommy, or Dr. Muffins, whatever you want to call her. Now this is her proving, Dr. Curry proving that Amber Heard lied.
And it puts quite high questions in the test that are so unusual. They might sound like PTSD, but even the most severe cases of PTSD don't have these symptoms. And so somebody...
See, so what she's saying here, she's talking about the PTSD tests and how there's actually questions on the test that sound like they're PTSD symptoms, but they're not. And it's specifically designed to catch people that are lying about having PTSD. So you've got the real PTSD questions and you've got the fake PTSD questions, and they're designed to catch liars. VJ, you're welcome. Welcome.
Somebody who's intentionally trying to exaggerate PTSD, or possibly unintentionally, but nonetheless, who's exaggerating it, is likely to endorse these items, even though they're not real PTSD symptoms. Ms. Heard scored so highly on this that even if there is, although Dr. Hughes correctly said, there tends to be a negative skew when people have the high levels of distress that's associated with PTSD. So sometimes people score higher on this, even when they do have PTSD. She scored so high that that is effectively ruled out as a possibility. And
how is that? It's like you can see Amber sort of doing the Ralph Wiggum thing from The Simpsons. I passed my test with 100%. This isn't a test you're supposed to get 100% on. You're not supposed to have all of the fucking symptoms that are mentioned in the symptoms list. But Amber was so full of shit. She was so full of shit. She was lying so hard that she basically went off the scale. Not only did she have all of the real PTSD things, she apparently also had all of the fake ones that were designed to catch fakes. Listen to the last little bit of that again.
She scored so high that that is effectively ruled out as a...
She scored too high on the test. She scored too high on the PTSD test to have PTSD. Sorry, Amber. You got caught. You got caught by Dr. Muffins, by Dr. Mommy. And she even did us all the favor of putting her glasses on a couple of times. Malcolm said, I usually stop watching, but yesterday was full of bombs. Yeah, yesterday was a slow burn with a flash. But yeah, I mean, Dr. Mommy blew Dr. Hughes out of the water. And there was a lot of the things I didn't clip where she was just saying that Hughes ran some tests she shouldn't have run. She didn't do some things she should have done. And it was brutal. Dr. Mommy here, Dr. Curry, she was a fantastic witness. And like I said, I love how she started out slow and then went hard later when she came back on the redirect. David Watkins says, what's higher than PTSD? Amber is higher than PTSD. Malcolm, so what's wrong with Amber if not PTSD? Well, we haven't decided. There's been a mixed diagnosis with I mean, it's a personality disorder. I think there's still a little bit of unclarity as to which particular personality disorder she has. Max Geekdom, hey, what's up? But anyway, Amber is the one that is higher than the PTSD scale. Now, the next clip I want to go to, Dr. Mommy again. This is a clip when I was over on Nick's stream. We had a little bit of fun. Let me bring this one up.
girlfriends
In the more subtle tests where she doesn't know what she's endorsing, it's good evidence that her over-endorsement on that one test is because of the reason the scale was made, to detect exaggeration and feigning of symptoms.
So this was our live reaction to
Is this
the last
test
video.
that resulted in the 98 percentile
Yes.
score?
Yes, on that square, on
Yes.
that atypical response scale.
And what does that 98 percentile score represent?
So that 98th percentile score just represents that among 98% of people who take that test would not have endorsed. She scored more of those unusual items that are not consistent with PTSD than 98% of people who have ever taken that test. Yes.
What is
So, girl. So not only did she choose more answers than she should have on the test to check if she was faking, she chose more of the fake ones than 98% of people that have ever taken that test in the history of the test. That's how fucking much she was off of her rocker with these things. That's how insane she was. That's how fake she was. She scored like bonus points on the fake test. In the top 2 percentile of all fakers that have ever faked the fake out of this faking test. That's how good Amber is. You know, that's the problem. That's the problem with faking stuff. Sometimes you can fake it a little too good. That's the problem with police planting evidence. And that happens way more than you would really, really hope. Police or lying, because they say, okay, we know we have this person. We know we have sufficient evidence to get a conviction against this person. But the jury may have a different idea. So we need to do something to make extra sure that they don't get caught. I mean, that they don't get off and that they stay caught. That happens. And I know I've been talking about getting into the O.J. Simpson cross-examination of the LAPD criminologist. That was actually that's the case. You can see the O.J. Simpson's defense lawyer will prove that they added evidence. You know, and that happens just so much to bolster their case, just to make sure, just to dot every I and cross every T. But real life isn't like that. Real life has some vagaries and some imperfections. Carl says, I fell out of my chair with you guys' reaction. We had fun. That was a good night. And hopefully tonight will be equally good. Oh, shoot. So the next clip, where are we going to go on from here? Where should we go after the lovely Dr. Curry finishing her thing? Well, okay, we talked about Johnny Depp. I talked about Johnny Depp being probably not the best witness for himself. He had his problems, and it was always a risk, I think. Because he has the we'll put him down here for a minute. He has the inability to concisely answer a question. And while we're talking about Amber Heard trying to exaggerate things, Johnny Depp's got a bit of a problem himself. The colloquial way he speaks, the flowery words, and the Johnny Deppness of Johnny Depp. How's that for stupid language? The Johnny Deppness of Johnny Depp. He kind of gets in his own way a little bit of the time. Sometimes you just need to answer the question. He was very funny the first time around. He told jokes at precisely the right moment. He criticized people at the right moment. But this time, or on the redirect, I think he came across as a bit unlikable, a bit too combative. He was still funny at some points. But BA says Rottenborn knew how to get under his skin early, and he did. Rottenborn did it by going full Camille. Max Geekdom asks, "What are the chances for a win?" I'll talk about that later here. We got Abavir Chowdhury here says, Johnny was letting Amber Turd's freeloader friends to live in his penthouse without rent. Jury should consider that as charity also. I agree with you. Marcy Gomez says Rotten Bottom is a douchebag. I don't think he's a douchebag. I think he's a good lawyer. He's a good, solid lawyer. He's just got a douchebag for a client, and he's got to do the best he can for his client. I think of Amber Heard's team, Rottenborn is the best one of the bunch. Baby Rottenborn, the little guy that objected to his own question, he's just way too nervous to be a part of this. Chris, Legal Vice, is there any chance he was there by stipulation for Amber Heard's rebuttal? Oh, no, they planned to bring him back to answer all of these things that he couldn't talk about. Sigrid S. says, are you on Twitter? Yes, I am the Legal Vices on Twitter. We go to not Legal Vices, the Legal Vices, and you'll find me. Hey, now, that's I resemble that remark. Okay, we got Ralu P says, do you think that her lawyers believe her? Well, that's an interesting question, because as lawyers, we have a duty. We're bound to aggressively advocate for our client, but we cannot knowingly lie to the court or knowingly allow our client or another witness to lie to the court. So, you know, if I'm a defense lawyer and I have a client who is guilty of murder, and I know he's guilty of murder because he told me he did it and showed me all the proof, I cannot go into court and say that he didn't do it. Now, the way around that is to not ask. If I think he is a murderer, if I'm almost certain he's a murderer, but there's even a tiny little wiggle room, then I can aggressively argue that he's not a murderer. So if the guy's a murderer and you know he's a murderer and you know he's going to tell you he's a murderer, don't ask him if he's a murderer. So tying that back into this thing, if she told them they're lying, or if they have concrete evidence that she's lying and they're allowing her to tell lies, we've got a problem. But I think, you know, they haven't asked her the tough questions because they need the ability to go in and aggressively advocate that she was in fact the victim and not the abuser. So I think they have plausible deniability. So therefore they argue for her, but in their head, I think they know that she's screwed. That's the bottom line. She's believable, and then she goes over the line. I think they know she's bullshitting on a lot of these answers, but as they don't have any actual hard proof that she's lying, they can still aggressively advocate for, oh, you got Yoda back there. Huh? Yoda's getting sleepy. I have another one. Oh, Strawberry's right behind me on the floor, so you can't see her. They're my little English bulldogs. LH, are you streaming here live through the trial today, or I'll be jumping to other channels. I'm surprised that there's 102 people here. Holy shit, I'm surprised that they should be everywhere. I just assumed everybody would be over at Legal Mindset, which is where I'll probably jump to after I wrap up here. And then I'm looking probably like I might be. I was on Nick's all night last night over at Ricada Law, so I'm probably gonna go over to Legal Bites because, quite frankly, I get a shit ton of subscribers from her. Sid, hey, yeah, Yoda, he's a little. That's just what Yoda does. 24 hours a day, sleep. He's Yoda because he looks like Yoda. Now back to John. Oh, they got their armbands. DUI guy and James are in. Sweet. They after DUI guy's expressions yesterday, which we'll get to. He needs to just be given an all day, every day court pass. Runkle's got to get in. He had some depressing looking pictures of him laying on the concrete sidewalk up against a brick wall in the middle of the night. Runkle needs to get in. Pale people get colder than others at night, so he needs to get in there. Well, Johnny Depp can't stay out of his own way. And I think he got into a little bit of trouble with that yesterday. You know, like he was just, a little too combative, a little too aggressive, a little too snotty and snarky. And I'm sure he's fed up to here with all this shit. But, you got to rein it in. And I think he came off not looking very good. He had some tough questions, no doubt. But I don't think it was fatal to his case. I don't think his performance yesterday destroyed his chances of winning. It certainly didn't help. At least the middle part, the middle part of the cross examination. But this was one of the funnier points. This was I like this part. I thought I was amused, as we all were at that point.
Have you ever consumed 8 to 10 MDMA pills at once?
No, ma'am. No, I have not.
And why?
Because I'd be dead. I'm pretty sure. I think one would die. Yes, really. And probably rather quickly.
Mr. Depp, I'd like to
And
show you
painfully.
some pictures from the home and
that was good. I mean, I that was one of my highlights of the whole time. Was, I mean, Amber saying, he did the E all the time. He's popping E like candy. He would take a fistful of pills, and 8 to 10 at a time. And that was a brilliant answer. I mean, even for him, that was a brilliant answer. If he would have kept his answers like that, even under cross-examination, he would have come off a lot better. When you're happy and snarky and happy and sarcastic, it tends to be funnier than when you're angry and sarcastic. Well, Rob Moore said nothing to do with defamation. That again, I mean, there's a lot of people saying, well, so what? So what if he does 8 to 10 XD pills? What does that prove? That doesn't prove he hit Amber. What it does is, if he says, if they ask, do you do it? He says no, and they can show you lied about it. Then they say, okay, he lied about this. He lied about this. He lied about that. He lied about the other thing. So therefore, we can assume he's lying about not hitting her. So it's, it's not directly on point, but it's kind of goes to his credibility a little bit. So that's kind of why all this stuff has been going around, so they can come back and later go, see, they lied about this, lied about that, lied about the other thing. So they're lying about the main point. Oh yeah, hey, I can use my whole room for a green screen. I hadn't thought of that. I wonder, huh? Let's see how much of a green screen this works out to be. Come on. Welcome to my living room. Oh, that actually looks pretty. No, I still got the weird thing around the head. That's the problem with green screens. You get this weird thing, and as a lead over at Legal Bytes said, it makes you look like an NPC character testifying in court. All right, let's get rid of the stupid thing. All right. All right. So yeah, I mean, Johnny Depp had some high points. He had some low points, and I think he probably would have done himself a bigger favor by keeping his cool and not being too snarky about it. And let's see here. Okay. Next. This is fun. Who knows what this is? This is the Draco Malfoy testifying, or as Andrew over at Legal Mindsets calls him, TMZ Draco. I called him Draco Malfoy, but TMZ Draco is a little bit better. He was a good witness. He was the TMZ employee. He was the TMZ employee that was testifying about having the stuff leaked. Because if you recall, Amber was saying that she's never released anything to TMZ. She wouldn't know how to release anything to TMZ. But the video of bashing cabinets and things around was owned by TMZ. I mean, it had a TMZ watermark on it. They had the rights to that. So at some point, somebody had access to Amber Heard's phone and sold the video to TMZ. Wonder who that was. We have Rod here saying, kind of disappointed with the judge forcing the witness to say yes or no to an unanswerable question about the manipulation if there were no original photos for reference. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is, like, if they ask say yes or no, that you have to answer yes or no. The judge will usually force you to say yes or no. But then on the recross, you can go back and ask for a better explanation of that. So that's just something that happens. If they want a yes or no answer, you'll need to give them a yes or no answer, and then you can go back and fix their testimony later. So Amber was saying she didn't know that. She didn't set up anything in the courthouse. She never alerted TMZ that she was going in to get the temporary restraining order. She never alerted TMZ for the divorce filing. She didn't want the publicity. Nothing was there. And he came in and essentially testified that, yeah, she did. Yeah, she did. And this is the first of Malfoy's little TMZ Draco Malfoy's testimony regarding that issue of what happened surrounding the bruised face and the temporary restraining order and TMZ. Let's get into it.
What was your team of paparazzi supposed to do while they were at the Los Angeles courthouse on May 27th, 2016?
Their objective was to capture her leaving the courthouse, and then she was going to sort of stop and turn towards the camera to display the bruise on the right side of her face, the alleged bruise.
Did your team of videographers get the shot of Amber Heard?
We did.
What is the difference between receiving a tip from a news producer and any other source?
If it's any other source, it would have to be verified by copyright. If it was anything that was received directly through a news producer, then they go through that process to verify the source.
Did you do anything to verify the tip on May 27th, 2016 related to Amber Heard?
I did not.
Why not?
Because it had come directly from a news producer.
Now that's important. Let's look at that. Let's listen to the first part of this again.
What was your team of paparazzi supposed to do while they were at the Los Angeles courthouse on May 27th, 2016?
Their objective was to capture her leaving the courthouse.
Okay. Somebody tipped TMZ off that Amber Heard was going to be at the courthouse. Someone with a credible source. They were criticizing him for not double checking the facts, not verifying it. But he's saying, I don't have to verify it because I got it from a news source. So someone else had verified it and told them. So somebody tipped off another person who told them. If nobody but Amber and her legal team and publicists knew she was going there, I wonder who did it. And now they had the objective. They had a few objectives. TMZ had a couple of objectives. What are their objectives?
Her leaving the courthouse.
Get a picture of her leaving the courthouse.
And then she was going to sort of stop and turn towards the camera to display the bruise on the right side.
Then she was going to stop.
Hey, Amber.
Amber, did Johnny give you that bruise on your face? Did Johnny beat you up?
Stop.
Hello. I know I muted. I saw that. So let's see what happened here. That exactly what she said happened. I wonder how far back I was muted. I hope we got their objectives. The objectives for them were to get a video of her coming out of the court, get a video of her stopping and turning towards the camera and displaying her bruise. And that's exactly what she did. So somebody told the news source to tell TMZ that she's going to come out, she's going to show her bruise, she's going to stop and pose. Looks like that's exactly what happened.
Did Johnny?
She comes out.
Amber, did Johnny give you that bruise on your face? Did Johnny beat you up?
Stop, pose, show your bruise, look around.
Did Johnny brutalize you?
Did Johnny
Amber?
brutalize you?
You guys, she showed a lot of
Are you okay, Amber? You look upset. How you doing?
You're going the wrong way.
Got some fake struggling going on there.
Amber.
Whoa.
Amber, how you feeling?
Amber, are you going to go to the doctor?
Are you okay?
Are you going to go to the hospital, Amber?
Excuse me. Hey.
Are you worried that Johnny might do that again? Amber, what do you have to say to Johnny? Are you getting support from me and Johnny's family? Thank you.
Best of luck, Amber. Good job, Amber.
Okay. Well, gosh, isn't that just special? Are the lambs screaming, Amber? We've all decided that's Elaine and her cats, the crazy cat lady. Can you hear the screaming of the cats, Amber? Yeah, that was a very planned and coordinated effort, and that's the whole point of the TMZ witness, was to show that it was all arranged and all planned to happen exactly the way it went down. You know, where she comes out, she looks at the camera, she does her thing, she shows the bruise, and she goes. Distracted by the dog. Okay, well, we can block the dog. Hey, Yoda. Yeah, Yoda's not the smartest dog in the world. I'll have to put doggos out for the big screens, for the big streams later. I think he's trying to get to the whiskey that I have out there on the veranda. But anyway, we'll just have to block the dog. I don't want y'all to be distracted. So yeah, that was the whole point of the TMZ guy, was to come on and say a news source told us that this was going to happen. They gave us our objectives to go out and to get the video from Amber. Wow. Hey guys, I haven't been paying attention to how many people are here. There's 300 of you. That's awesome. I appreciate everybody who's up early, and I assume there's a lot of people up around this area of the world. I'm in Korea, if you don't know already, and we seem to have everybody in every time zone. So, gosh, welcome. God, I haven't even been paying attention to how many people are here. Hey, everybody. You know, I'm Legal Vices. I've been doing this a couple of weeks now, and if you haven't subscribed to me, I would deeply appreciate it if you would. I would love you all forever. And of course, doing the like thing helps. It gets more attention to the videos, which gets more people, which gets more view, which means I have more fun and we have more fun. Please join us here. I just kind of talk about things. Legal Vices is the reason I call myself Legal Vices, is because I have a lot of legal vices, cigars, pipes, whiskey. Recently I've sort of got into luxury watches and things, but yeah, it's a pleasure to have you all here. I hope you'll stick around. I try to be as entertaining. I'm unfiltered, unbreaded, for those of you that are in the know there. Unfiltered, unbreaded, kind of I call them as I see them, and fuck it, I'm not monetized yet, so I can't be demonetized. So moving on from the TMZ guys and Amber Heard, let's go back to the cross-examination of TMZ guy, which was brills. That was brilliant. No name is picked up on the Godzilla street sign. No, that is an actual real reflective street sign. Like it's reflective yellow, and it has the holes to drill for the street signs. And I got it from a friend in Japan. Sent me that's an actual poster from the early Godzilla movie from the 50s. Where do we go? Brienne says, how free speech are you? I consider myself pretty free speech. I mean, there's that's what we're here for. Now, what are we going to get? What are we going to get the TMZ guy to testify to now? He's under cross-examination by Elaine, who we all know and love as the crazy cat lady. Elaine's going to be questioning him about, why he's doing this. He's a former TMZ guy. He doesn't work there anymore, and TMZ didn't want him to testify. So here's the testimony that he gave under cross-examination, which we all seem to enjoy quite a bit.
You know this case is being televised, right?
I am aware that there are cameras.
And so this gets you your 15 minutes of fame. doesn't it?
Objection, Your Honor. Argumentative.
I can ask that question. Ruled.
So I stand to gain nothing from this. I'm actually putting myself kind of in the target of TMZ, a very litigious organization, and I'm not seeking any 15 minutes here. Though you're welcome to speculate. I could say the same thing by taking Amber Heard as a client for you.
Oh,
look at the UI guy.
I'm not seeking any 15.
that was fucking brutal. That was fucking brutal. I mean, that's the answer you give in a high-profile case like this. I could say the same thing about you. You. The only reason you took on Amber Heard was so you could get your name out there in the press every day. Oh, yeah, Sid has just seen the black nail polish. That's kind of what, just the facial looks and the black nail polish. He was just Malfoy to me. But yeah, I mean, that was just a big boom from them. And we've been talking about DUI guy. Let's look at DUI guy's reaction.
15 minutes here. Though you're welcome to speculate. I could say the same thing by taking Amber Heard as a client for you.
Let's embiggen that. He's here in the back. She's taken off guard. The legal team think it's funny. Johnny Depp's laughing. Everybody back here is laughing. But DUI guy, he is full into this at this point. That was a beautiful, honest reaction by everybody involved.
Same thing by taking Amber Heard as a client for you.
Look at the UI guy.
Mr. Depp's attorneys were well aware of the
Zing.
TRO that was going to be presented on May 27th.
Objection. Calls for speculation.
Were you aware of that?
Lack of foundation.
Oh.
Can you restate the question?
Were you aware that Mr. Depp's divorce attorneys were aware that Amber Heard was going in to seek a TRO on May 27th? Okay, you know this case is being televised, right?
I am aware.
I like that. I mean, that was all, and that's what she should do. That's what Elaine should do in a case like this. She should try to discredit him by saying that you want to be part of this this big trial of the century. You want to be out there. You want to get your 15 minutes of fame. She should do that, but you should do it in a better way. Like, do you think testifying here today is going to help or hurt your career? Do you think it's going to help or hurt your notoriety? It depends how you ask. You just want your 15 minutes of fame, don't you? It's like, well, you do too, bitch. I mean, you come out a loser. She should have learned that the previous day with a trailer park guy, with Hicksville Trailer Palace guy. I was saying, as you sound a little bit psychotic, and he didn't want to testify. He had nothing to gain by testifying there. No, not everybody wants to testify. People want to tell the truth. So, and then she still didn't learn her lesson from TMZ, the Draco Malfoy here. She still didn't learn her lesson, and she got her ass handed to her later. But now this is a fun clip. Like when because everybody was speculating and wondering, is the police officer that got involved with the domestic situation between Amber and her former wife at the airport in Seattle, people were wondering if the cop was going to testify, and nobody knew for sure. Nobody knew if she was coming in, but then she came in, and I had just signed off and gone to sleep here in Korea, and over at Ricada's channel, our self-defense law, and Andrea Burkhart were there, and Andrea seemed to enjoy the fact that the cop was being called in to testify. This is just done solely for the purpose of showing how happy that Andrea was. I think this is the right clip. Yeah, I believe this is the right clip. Yep.
Ms. Heard was had grabbed.
Nope. Oh, don't tell me I didn't do it. Yeah, I apparently did not clip it. Give me a quick second here. I will roll back through my tweets on Twitter and pull this up. Where are we? I'm just kind of scrolling back in time here. What? Well, huh. Well, it seems somewhere that I have misplaced a tweet. Don't quite know how that happened, but it seems that I have. Well, shoot. All righty then. We won't pull up that, but if we go back, we can hear her screaming, "It's the cop! It's the cop! It's the cop!" She was happy.
Ms. Heard was had grabbed her traveling companion and
Well, I know what we can do.
pulled something from her neck. At that point, I got up and went over to try to break up what appeared to be a fight.
Are they not going to let us?
And I summoned a colleague.
We can
to
go
help.
back in time a little bit here. Let me quickly bring this up. We'll skip back in time and we can watch it that way.
Your full name for the record.
Beverly R. Leonard.
Where are
Oh,
you
that goes
testifying
over your
from?
face, Andrea. Dang it.
I'm testifying from my home in Arizona.
Are you familiar with the defendant in this matter, Amber Heard?
Yes, I am.
And how are you familiar with her?
I met her in 2009 at SeaTac International Airport.
She's the cop. She's the cop.
Oh, shit.
I worked.
Andrea was really excited about that. That was funny. Andrea she is so fun. She's so knowledgeable and so fun. And if you haven't subscribed to her channel or checked her out, you should. She's really funny at times. She's great to know and great to hang around with. She was overly excited about that. Now let me bring up the part of the clip that I wanted to bring up. All right. We want the first clip from the police officer that proves that she's an abuser. All right, hang on here. Clip you. Bring you up in the YouTube deal. Boom.
Ms. Heard was had grabbed her traveling companion and pulled something from her neck. At that point, I got up and went over to try to break up what appeared to be a fight.
Are they not going to let us?
And I summoned a colleague to help me, and I stepped in between them and separated them, stopping any further injuries or escalation.
How would you describe the interaction between Ms. Heard and her traveling companion?
Ms. Heard was aggressive towards her traveling companion, and she had reached up and grabbed her arm and pulled a necklace off of her, and then I observed her having it in her hand. Ms. Heard was had grabbed.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. We went a little bit. I was so enthralled with her testimony and listening to the abuse that I just kept looping it. Yeah. So what we have here is Amber Heard has testified repeatedly that she has never been violent. She's never abused anyone. She's always been the victim, and nothing like this ever happened. Here is proof. This is the evidence they were trying to get in, and they got her. They got the police officer that handled them when they were in the middle of their domestic violence situation at the airport. This proves beyond a doubt that Amber Heard has lied about not being an abuser. There's no other way around this. That is the proof there. It would have been great if she could have said, and I got to arrest her and I hauled her off to jail. But she broke it up. They got the testimony in. The jury heard that she is a liar and an abuser, and that set them up for a good position on cross-examination. Detta Thomas says, however, the confusion is that she was just working security. She was not the police officer who arrested Amber. Yeah. That's why she could not speak further about the incident outside of it. That is true. It would have been fantastic, but that was enough. That was enough. Did I say she was a police officer? She was a cop. The rent a cops thing. She wasn't a arresting police officer. She also said she'd never edited her photos. Where was the question I was looking for? Oh yeah, okay. Invader Jim. Mr. Vice, you were wearing a Soul shirt yesterday, giving me the impression you might be into games. My question is, being the mecca of esports, have you attended any events? Yeah, Korea is kind of the hotbed of esports. I haven't gone to any. I don't like watching games as much as I like playing them, and I play the Soul games mainly, and other cool games that come out. It's the last non-Souls game I played was Cyberpunk. And I'm going to start going back through the Witcher series again, just because I want to. It's been a while since I've done the Witcher games. But yeah, I haven't been to any of the esports games here in Korea because I just don't like watching the games. I love playing and I don't like watching so much. Now, we have this awesome setup. We've got the awesome setup of her saying, yes, I broke them up. Amber, had grabbed her, had ripped the necklace off. And then she went on to testify that there was like a necklace burns on her neck, like an abrasion from the necklace. And Amber Heard was aggressive and slurring her speech and teary-eyed and smelled of booze. And that was her testimony. It was like that short. It was like 2 minutes, 3 minutes long. And then the cross-examination started. And what could possibly go wrong on cross-examination? Well, exactly what just went wrong with the cross-examination of TMZ Draco Malfoy. She asked the same question and got burned again. But she got burned hardest by Andrew at the Law of Self-Defense. We've got this. Let's bring it up. We'll pull up this last little tab here. Yep. This is where she accuses the cop of being a fame whore. Yep, she did it again. She accused the cop of being a fame whore.
When did you contact counsel for Mr. Depp?
Late last night.
Late last night.
Oh, damn.
Okay. And this happened in 2009, correct?
Yes.
13 years ago, correct?
Yes.
And you know that this trial is being televised, right?
Yes.
And so you know that if you have something that might be significant to say, that way you can get on television, right?
Oh, like this woman is looking for a TV break.
No, I had no desire to be on television. I actually waited for a call and wondered why I hadn't been contacted.
All right. But you reached out and contacted them last night, correct?
Yeah.
She did. I mean, she did it again. And, Andrew there from the Law of Self-Defense is absolutely correct. I mean, it's not, shaming her in any way, but does that look like a woman who wants to launch a career by appearing on a Johnny Depp trial? No. This is someone who had something to offer. She hadn't been asked yet. She's wondering why people hadn't asked her about it before then. And then she heard about this or saw this, and then she said, okay, I've got to do something. And so she did it. I mean, that's Elaine, she is the most unlikable person that I've seen in a long, long time. She has zero charisma. She has no idea how to talk to people. And I've said it from the very, very beginning. She has zero personal skills, and she's overly aggressive for no reason whatsoever. Tamara says, glad I found your channel. Thank you for your hard work. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you very much. Riley says, why didn't they bring her ex? Tasha, can she could come to, I don't know, but I saw something yesterday. I didn't even bother to read it, but apparently she was saying, leave Amber alone. I think she's still I don't know what the deal is. I don't know why they didn't bring her in. There had to be some reason. But what we've just got here is Elaine, the cat lady, the crazy cat lady lawyer. She has no ability to empathize or show any degree of sociability at all. I mean, she's just tearing into an accountant like a Rottweiler. I mean, it's an accountant, for God's sake. Leave the dude alone. You can ask tough questions. You can be assertive. You can be aggressive without being aggressive. I mean, I go back a couple of videos. If you go back into my video library, I did a video a couple of days ago about one of my, I hate the word heroes, but hero lawyers, Jerry Spence, who is a phenomenal lawyer. He's 93 years old, and he's still involved in a lawsuit right now. The guy has been around forever. He worked for insurance companies. He worked as a prosecutor, and he's worked as a defense lawyer, and he does commercial claims, but he has never, either as a prosecutor or a defense lawyer, never lost a criminal case. And he hasn't lost a civil case since 1969. And I mean, he's had clients. Imelda Marcos was his client. I don't know if you remember the Ruby Ridge incident. There was a big standoff a few years ago. Yeah, he represented those clients. Karen Silkwood, if you've heard anything about the Silkwood case or saw the movie Silkwood, he was their lawyer. I mean, he's been in some very high profile cases. He's never lost. He is a ridiculously brutal cross-examiner, but he's a guy that will love you to death. I mean, well, let me see if I can pull this up. There's a class online here where he's doing like a mock trial, like a fake trial, where he's showing you good cross-examination techniques. And it's not a real trial, but you can see his style. And Elaine could probably get away with doing something like it if she just would seem like the doting grandmother. I mean, she's 68. She could be somebody's grandma if she just came in as and she's from Virginia, so she's came like well, oh, you bless your heart, you're just such a special little witness, aren't you? She would take that kind of that kind of an approach. It's the old, you can catch more flies with honey than vinegar. I'm still trying to find this here. Jerry Spence cross-examination. Okay. Yeah, this is 4.5 minutes long. I'll just let it run and keep my damn mouth shut while this goes on. And you can see how he reacts to this. And you can see how people react. And this is from about 1 billion years ago, I think. I don't have a date on it, but let me see if I can pull up another one of the videos to get a date on it. It says it's about 25 years ago. And when was this uploaded? It was uploaded 13 years ago. So I guess we'll say it's about 40 years ago. It's like a 40-year-old video clip. So it was filmed with the ultimate potato cam back in the day. This is how an elderly person like Elaine could have an amazing cross-examination. As I said, you don't have to be a bitch. And unfortunately, it's one of the realities that men sound more authoritative when they get angry and when they raise their voice, and women seem more bitchy is the only word I can come up with. Not as powerful and more aggressive and desperate. And she didn't need to be this way through the whole trial. She didn't need to do this. Ms. Glow says 409 people watching. Wow, 407. 2 people saw that and left. Again, got new guys. I get maybe 40, 50 views a stream. So you all doing this is fantastic for me. This is all great. If you're new to the channel, I hope you stick around and watch some of the videos. And if you subscribe and you like this video, it'd make me even happier. You're sweet, and I would appreciate it. And welcome to the channel. I try to look at the questions as much as I can. Before we get on with this Jerry Spence thing, we have this legal vices. What do you think about Elaine arguing with the judge over objections to questions? From a layman, the dogs are into the plastic bottles. That's great. It seems like she has no idea how to phrase basic questions. Now, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, you can argue your point. If the opponent says, I object on these grounds, you can say, well, I think my question is legitimate because of this. But when the judge says, I have ruled, you're overruled or sustained. When the judge says, I've made my decision, you just need to shut the fuck up. Do not argue with the judge after she's made her decision. And also some places like in this court, the judge will let you argue back and forth in front of the jury. Other times they'll call you up. If the rule in the court is if you say I object and then come up and talk about it, and you say I object and start talking, don't do that. I mean, literally the last person you would want to piss off is the judge, obviously. Now, No Name has just kind of made a good segue here. Amber would have been better with someone affable, like Legal Vices. There's a lawyer. Yeah, I try to be affable, but my blood pressure gets up. Now, Jerry Spence, like I said, Jerry Spence, this ultimate lawyer who would never in a billion years lost any criminal trials as a prosecutor or a defense lawyer, and has not lost a civil case since 1969, is exactly that way. He will love you into answering questions, and then you're screwed. Here is him giving a little bit of a demonstration. I think we said it about 35, 40 years ago. Let's bring that up and share that. We will do so now. And I'll just let it run and see how much further Elaine could have got if she had taken this approach to the witnesses. This is Jerry Spence demonstrating how to whoop someone's ass without whooping their ass. And I will minimize myself because this is just good.
How you doing, Mr. Lee?
Fine.
And again, this is a demonstration. It's not an actual trial. So that's why you're getting a lot of laughing and there's a lot of people in the audience. He's just showing how to do this. This is Elaine. Elaine should have done this.
How you doing, Mr. Lee?
Fine.
Well, you look like a nice fellow.
My wife thinks so.
Well, Mr. Lee, I expect that you believe here that the county is negligent. That's true, isn't it?
That's my belief.
And you want the jury to believe it, don't you?
Certainly.
As a matter of fact, that's your purpose being here, isn't it? Is to kind of convince the folks on the jury that the county wasn't negligent.
I'm here for whatever purpose you wished me to be here.
Well, but wasn't that why you came, was to convince the jury that the county wasn't negligent?
I will provide the facts on our side, yes.
Didn't you want to convince the jury that the county wasn't negligent?
My attorney will take care of that.
Don't you want to answer the question? It's all right if you don't want to answer the question. I'll ask you another one. If you were wanting to convince the jury that the county wasn't negligent, there are certain ways a fella could do that. Isn't that right?
I suppose so.
Certain techniques.
You're more familiar with that than I am.
Well, I don't know whether I am or not. I never did have a coach to tell me how to testify. Did you have a coach?
Briefly, we did, yes.
Oh. Did the coach kind of practice your testimony with you so that you could convince the jury that the county isn't negligent?
No, we didn't get into details like that.
Or did she tell you anything? Was it a he or she, a he coach or a she coach?
It was a lady.
Lady. And did she, did you kind of go over how you were going to act on the witness stand?
Not in this particular case. It was a general session that we had.
Just a little bit of a session.
Yes.
About how to testify.
Yes.
It was called a witness consultant, wasn't it? I mean, the woman?
The lady?
Yes, the lady.
Yes, it was.
Yes. And it was her idea that in order to tell the truth to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, that is, to tell the truth to the folks, that you got to be coached, right? Isn't that true?
I don't believe I have to be coached, no.
Well, but you were coached. Somebody must have believed that you needed coaching. Well, sir, let me ask you a question now. Now, I don't mean to be personal or anything like that, but do you have a coach when you go home to try to explain things to the wife? I mean, do you hire a coach to kind of help you tell the truth to mama?
I've never done that, no.
No. But do you hire a coach when you want to tell the truth and the facts to the boss?
That all comes with experience.
No, well, wait a minute. Could it get you to answer the question? Do you hire a coach to help you tell the truth to the boss?
No, I never have.
Do you remember any time that you ever hired a coach to help you explain anything in the world except that the county wasn't negligent in this case? Mr. Witness, please.
I've never hired a coach.
No.
So that's Jerry Spence. That's Jerry Spence. How much better would Elaine have been if she would have taken that approach? If she would have taken that nice approach? You know, that's the frustrating thing for me. I mean, her client aside, Amber Heard aside, take Amber Heard out of the picture. Regardless of who her client is, I don't think she needs to act that way. She doesn't need to behave like this cranky old ornery cow. And Rottenborn, he acted that way during the cross-examination of Johnny Depp on redirect to go in like Camille did on Amber. So that was understandable, but she's nasty to everybody and it gets you nowhere. Now, Jerry Spence did not say what, if any. That is true. Jerry didn't seem nice, but testifying for the jury. Well, that's what you're doing. You're testifying for the jury. You're not testifying to the judge. You're not testifying to the lawyer. You're not testifying to anybody in the audience. You're testifying to the jury. You're telling a story to the jury. And you're telling your story, and you're trying to get your witness to tell the story to the jury. And that's what, be a storyteller. If you wanted to see some interesting things, just look through some of Jerry Spence's videos. They're great. He's got his book is one of my favorite books. It's called How to Argue and Win Every Time, where he just basically talks about telling the truth, having a ring of truth, and telling your own version of the truth and believing it. You don't have to be nasty. You can be a good lawyer without being a nasty person. And you have all of the weaknesses that are inherent in Amber Heard's trial. You have in her position, in her arguments. You have all the lies, the demonstrable lies she told. And then when you add a crabby lawyer on top of that, and then you bring in angry, halfway demented witnesses, it just compounds the problem multiple times. And then you find yourself in the situation where I think anybody else could have destroyed Johnny Depp's case with putting him on a redirect. But, they had to come in angry. They could have destroyed other witnesses, but they had to come in angry, and it doesn't work. That's it. I felt uncomfortable when Johnny was being cross-examined, and very sorry for him. Felt a bit like bullying, says Chubba Lord. That's it. I mean, he had some bad answers and some bad things, but it just seemed like, you're unnecessary. So, it's a bit late to change their style now. But I think they could have had a much greater chance of winning the case if they had started out more of this conversational style. Someone was mentioning he's got the country lawyer thing down. Jerry Spence was born in Cheyenne, Wyoming. He's lived in Wyoming his entire life, except for a brief stint in California. And he lives in Jackson Hole, Wyoming now. He has a beautiful, beautiful log cabin-esque law firm there. There's Strawberry. Strawberry's made her appearance. But yeah, do I think Johnny Depp will win? I do not think his testimony was fatal to his case yesterday. He had some tough questions. He came off unnecessarily aggressive, unnecessarily evasive, and a bit too snarky, I think. But at the end of the day, I think he still has the jury in his hand. And they crushed the witnesses after. So I think, I still think he's going to win his case. As to what the damages are, I have no idea. I have no idea what the damages would be if he wins, but I'm sure she's not going to even come anywhere remotely close to winning her case. And whether he wins his case or not, I think I would give it, before yesterday, I would have said 90, 95%. Now I'm going to drop that down to maybe 75, 80% chance. Hello from Dublin, Ireland. Johnny boy, good to see you. The Irish are always welcome here. Let's see. We're coming down to the end. And if Amber's team has any hope of winning, somehow on their final go around with their counterclaim, they have to come up with some devastating witnesses. Do you think the defense witness rebuttal today? Where did that? I hate when this thing moves while I'm in the middle of reading it here. Do you think here it is? Do you think the defense's rebuttal today will undo the damage from yesterday? I don't know who is on the list. I purposely like to be surprised by who the next witness is. So I don't know who's on the list for today. I saw who they wanted to call for the next 2 days, but I haven't mentally gone through and seen who was crossed off. Who gets the last word? Amber will get the last word in this because she has the counter case, the countersuit. So this is their rebuttal, and when they're finished, then she'll be able to rebut on her counterclaims. Greg is also from Ireland, from Dublin. You guys can possibility of a hung jury. I think that's probably a very not unlikely thing that could happen. And I mean, I don't think it's going to be an ass whipping for Johnny Depp. He's either going to win or it'll be a hung jury. And that's just because all 7 people have to unanimously agree there was no single episode of abuse on Johnny Depp's part. But it sounds like they could do it. Invader Jim says the Irish are here. Well, my mother is Irish Lithuanian. My mother's father is Irish. So hey, we're here. I got what do we have back there on the shelf? We've got some Redbreast 12 cask strength, some Redbreast 12-year regular. We've got some Bushmills Black and some Bushmills 10-year. Is Amber really testifying again today? Oh, I hope. E. coli says I'm cute. I hope that's not E. coli or I. coli, we'll call it. Yeah, well, we're kind of coming down to the end now. We've got an hour before we any Scottish whiskey. Gosh, let's see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shelves. The top 3 shelves are Scotch. The middle one is Japanese and Irish, and the bottom 2 are bourbon. And the top is just mixers and vodka and gin and tequila and absinthe and other things. I've got some legal vices going on back there. So yeah, I'm a big Scotch whiskey fan. And now that, like I said, there's an hour before we kick off. Oh, we got Tamara Gherkin. Is it possible to speak about the disgusting text Johnny was accused of sending, even though the text was part of a group text and inbound? Well, there was the one that he sent about the Elon Musk and the mackerel text. That was his, and he admitted to that. When the other ones, yeah, that was interesting because they seem to be the group texts, and I don't know how we're going there. You're Irish when the whiskey is stacked. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, as I've been saying here, we're coming down to the end. All of you that have been here, I deeply, deeply appreciate it. This is almost 4 times more than I've ever had in any of my streams. So I'm really super happy and glad you're here. And I don't want to step on anybody else's toes as they warm up and get ready to start doing their shows. And what I'm going to do is probably take a 5-10 minute break. And then I'm going to go over to Legal Mindset if you'll let me in. And then after that, probably head over to Legal Bites, Alita's channel. And I encourage you to go over and get into the other people's stream, see what's going on over there. And as for me, I would deeply, deeply appreciate your likes and your subscriptions. And let's keep this thing going because I am having so damn much fun here. I'm talking to my wall usually, but now I get to talk to a bunch of people, and we seem to be having fun. And until I was going to do a cheers out, but I'm empty. So until next time, have fun, not too much fun, and enjoy your legal vices. We'll catch you next time. Thanks for stopping in. Bye.